Hey guys, this is my video on how to build your do-it-yourself wood gas stove using common components that you would find at IKEA, grocery store for the 10. And what makes this one different is that it uses quality parts, stainless steel. And that's really important for the burn chamber because you obviously don't want to be building this every single year. You don't want it to rust out and get eaten away by the fire. So this year is actually a IKEA flower pot for the kitchen. It kind of hangs on a hook. You'll find it in the kitchen section. I cut out the bottom because it already came with a really nice grate with perfectly sized holes, and that would normally sit there to keep the flower pot that you put inside of this thing sitting off the water and going stagnant. So I just cut out the bottom. That becomes the bottom now. It's also stainless steel, which is really nice. And you have your inner chamber where the wood pellets or whatever sits in there. Provides good airflow. This here is going to be the top grate. It actually came from an IKEA lemon squeezer. And I don't have an intact one here to show you. But essentially it was something like this. Just picture the metal went all the way around. Your lemon thingamajig there, squeeze. You have your squeezed lemon juice. So I just cut out a perfect circle. Fits perfectly on the top of that thing. Made some little tabs here to hold on nice and securely. Again, this is stainless steel, so it'll last a really long time in direct contact with the flame. It had a little lip here that was bent over, and I actually just raised that up. And that's going to be where the actual pot sits on. And right now it's elevated enough that it doesn't snuff out the fire, and you have some air holes here. The flame can actually come out. It can also breathe. So I'll move that aside. The design of this thing is a lot like most other wood gas stoves that you'll find out there. Nothing special about it. Like the Bush Buddy. So you have your, obviously the holes in the bottom. I put in some lower secondary holes because I noticed during testing when the fuel gets down to about this level, it tends to snuff out with any kind of strong breeze that comes in, and you don't want that to happen. So when it gets down to that level, you want the wood gas flame to start coming through here. You have secondary air coming in as well. So it'll keep that fire going a lot longer. Okay, this is just a baby food tin, and you can find it, I mean, if you have kids, you'll have tons of these things lying around. If you don't have kids, I think it's the same size tin that you would get in like a Tim Hortons coffee or Maxwell's, whatever it is, those packaged coffees in a tin. Just make the air holes in the bottom. A lot of guys on YouTube actually cut out the bottom. I don't like to do that because I want something to hold the ash, and I don't want the bottom of whatever I'm placing this on to get burned. So it's fully self-contained. It's not messy. It's going to hold all the ash, anything that falls through there. This guy goes in there. Just to let you know, it wasn't a perfect fit. If you can see the edge here was kind of bent, so I had to push that down. I don't recommend you do that till the end, obviously, because it does form a really tight seal that's kind of airtight, and it's hard to pull out. So make all your holes, everything first, then force this through even pressure so that it doesn't end up lopsided. It sits really nice and snug in there. Okay, and then you have your top grate. On the top lip of the pot, I put in some holes. That'll just be some ventilation holes so that when you have a pot or something sit on top of there, it's not going to snuff out the fire. Okay. I gave it a test yesterday without these holes yesterday, and we had some problems where the fire would snuff out. So I'll test it again today, and I'm pretty sure everything should work very nicely. Besides that, it actually did burn very well. And I didn't complete runtime test, but we'll do that today and see how long it goes for. Okay, I'll see you guys again outside with this bad boy fired up. Okay guys, I didn't video how I lit this thing because it's hard to do with one hand, but essentially it's a top lit design. They call it a T-LUD, top lit updraft. So you light it from the top, draft comes up, you have the wood gas. I just put in some rubbing alcohol, threw in a match with my wood pellets. I think this thing holds about 3 to 4 cups of wood pellets. I'd have to check that, but it's going to take a second to get lit and get going. When it does, I'll come back and we'll time how long it takes to start to gasify, and then we'll do a full runtime test. Okay, see you guys in a sec. Back. Okay, so we're just starting to come up to temperature. Just so you know, it takes roughly about 2 minutes before this thing gets lit and you start to see gasification, which is really nice, very quick. We are outside on my balcony and it's actually about minus 15 right now. We're gonna do a burn test to see the runtime with about 3 or 4 cups of wood pellets. I'll double check to make sure how much that thing actually holds. And we're gonna put about a liter of water on there and see how long that takes to come to a boil. But as you can see, it burns very nicely, very clean. There is absolutely no smoke after about 2 minutes, and actually even when we lit it up, very little smoke, but that might also be because we're using wood pellets. So you can use anything you want, twigs, any debris you find on the floor, any kind of biomass. It'll burn that very nicely. So it's starting to go. You can see it's gasifying. I'll let that go for another minute, go fill up some water, and we'll start a boil test, see how long that takes. Okay, I'll see you guys in a second. We're back. I've let this thing go for about 4 or 5 minutes, just to really let it get heated up. We're going to do a runtime test, just see how long it takes to boil 1 liter of water. So I'll put that on there, and the air holes that I made seem to be working nicely. Okay, so we'll get that started. Okay, and we'll come back when it's boiling. So actually, before I do that, you do see a little bit of smoke happening here, which indicates to me that it's not getting enough air. So I'm probably gonna increase the size of those holes, but I'm sure we can go ahead, just do the test with it as is, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're at about minute 13 seconds. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it's already starting to boil. It's not a fast rolling boil yet. You'll see the steam and hear the whistle when it's ready, but we're getting close, and it's working very quickly. And again, I will increase the size of those air holes because we do have a little bit of smoke happening here, and I don't like that. That means we have an incomplete burn. It's not working as efficiently as it can, and the whole purpose of a gas stove is to really have a nice, clean, efficient burn with virtually no smoke. So we'll fix that for subsequent videos, but for now, you're gonna see how long it takes to get that rolling boil. Okay, so I'll come back. I won't put you through this. Come back when it's actually boiling, okay? Okay, we're back. It's about 9 minutes, 20 seconds. This thing is about to boil. I am going to stop it before it starts to whistle because I do live on a condo. I don't want my neighbors complaining about me making a fire outside. Okay, there we go. Okay. So again, that's the Stovetech Grate. I just really quickly put that on there because I noticed it wasn't enough of an air gap to prevent a lot of smoke formation, so I'll just take that out, put it back on my Stovetech now. Okay, so it is minus 15 out. It did take about 10 minutes to come to a full boil, and I know that could be cut in half almost to about 5 minutes. Major issues that we've identified so far: these holes, way too small. We need bigger holes. You need lots of air for it to be able to breathe and prevent any kind of soot. I can see here there is some soot, so that tells me it wasn't burning very efficiently when it was on there. So we'll fix that. Hopefully that doesn't deter you from building something like this. Obviously this is my first design. You know, it takes a couple renditions before you find something that works really well, but we'll get there. So like I said, it is minus 15 outside. It is burning and gasifying very nicely. We're going to just let this roll and see how long it burns now with nothing on top hindering the actual burn. Okay, so this will be a burn time test, and we'll come back. We'll leave that thing going, and we'll come back when this thing's getting down to the bottom and just about to snuff out. We're coming up on about 30 minutes, and it's still going nicely. I'm now inside my home where it's nice and toasty warm. Again, I did mention it's about minus 15 degrees Celsius outside, and we took about 10 minutes to boil that water. I'm sure we could do better. But coming up on 30 minutes, and we'll let it go, see how long it goes on about, I don't know, 3 or 4 cups of wood pellets. Okay, we'll come back when that thing's dying down. 30 minutes now, and I just wanted to show you if the flame will die down a little bit. The fuel is down to about halfway now. And this is where I had some problems yesterday before I put in the secondary air holes in here at about that level. So it seems to be burning very nicely. It's still gasifying very nicely, and the wood's gone down. The wood pellets have gone down to I'd say a little bit more than halfway, and burning very nicely. So overall, I'm very pleased with it and how it's operating. Again, we'll come back at probably around an hour or so, maybe an hour, maybe 50 minutes or so before this thing totally dies down. But it's operating very nicely, and very pleased. Okay, so we'll see you in maybe 20-30 minutes. Yes, we're around 34 minutes now, and fire died down actually a lot quicker than I thought it would. But you can see inside we have really hot. We have coals, and I guess the pellets underneath have already been used, and what we're left with is just, I guess, charcoal. And it'll probably stay hot like that. Fuck, that's really hot. It'll stay hot like that for maybe another, I don't know, 15-20 minutes of usable heat. If you were actually cooking on this, you can keep it at a really nice simmer without burning your food. I can go ahead and add more pellets to this, but really I've learned what I wanted to learn from this. It's my first design, and burns really nicely for about 30 minutes, where you have 30 minutes of good solid flame. You know, have a really good strong rolling boil. After that, keep your food nice and warm for maybe another 15-20 minutes. Design seems to work very well. Things that I would change in this, I'm not sure if you can see it. Get an angle here. I put in some secondary air holes, kind of a little bit less than halfway down. If I were to do this again, I would probably do it at exactly halfway, because what I noticed was as the flame was starting to die down, it was dying down because of lack of oxygen. So if you can hit about the halfway point, where it's much further away from these secondary air holes, you have fresh air coming up as the pellets burn down. Especially when you're using pellets, it really packs this in tightly, so airflow is key. I did start to see a little bit of smoke as I got towards 30 minutes. you can eliminate that by probably making bigger air holes in there for the secondary air, and probably right at exactly the halfway point between there and the very bottom grate. Okay, so if you guys are doing your own, I would suggest that. But overall, very happy with how it burned. Worked very well. We're at about 36 minutes. Still really hot, and I can go ahead and stoke the coals a little bit, and you can see it's still nice and hot. So I'm just gonna let that go for a while and see if it goes down to complete ash, or if you get charcoal. A lot of these designs, it's kind of hit and miss. Some people say that they get wood char, which is basically just charcoal, and you could probably reburn that again, or maybe put it on top, use it a second time. And some people get complete ash, where it goes down to nothing. So it probably depends a little bit on the wood pellets that you're using. I'm using a hardwood softwood blend, American wood. Yeah, worked very nicely. Very pleased with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, just to review, everything is that's in contact with the flame, all stainless steel. Should last a good while, and seems to work very nicely. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys soon. At a little over an hour, and I just wanted to show you what's going on in here. We still have red hot coals, and that's still very, very warm. If you had food on top of this thing, you can keep it nice and warm, probably at just a light simmer maybe. I don't know if it's enough heat for a simmer, but still definitely a lot of usable heat in there. And that's over an hour. So very impressed, very happy with how it's operating. And yeah, it looks like it's actually going down. So you know, there is a little bit of actual flame coming off of that. I don't know if you can see that in the video or not, but it looks like it will probably go down to ash, and I don't think we're going to be left with any coals, which is good. Ideally, you just want white ash, and that's a full complete burn. Okay, so I just wanted to show you. Hour 4 minutes, still going, usable heat. Thanks a lot, guys. All right, bye-bye.